guys, welcome back. Today we're actually doing a build for a neighborhood that I call Suburban Hell. I haven't actually started playing this one yet because there's a lot of building I need to do. But specifically we are in the elementary school and we are putting together the computer lab. Now I have based this off of my own elementary school experience and, you know, I did my best to recreate that within the limitations of our game. And I say our game because if you're watching this and you don't play The Sims 2, I'm sorry, you should. You should, and you should feel bad if you don't. Because it's definitely out there and you don't have to pay for it. I'm just saying. Don't play The Sims 4. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So yeah, I was trying to find a fun wallpaper and I really didn't have one, so I went with this one. Just teen style stuff? I don't remember. I also don't know why, like, every computer lab just didn't have windows. Like, my whole school experience, which I don't even think they have computer labs anymore, but, like, my school experience definitely was computer labs didn't have windows, and I just never really understood why. But it was a thing. I guess because they didn't want to make it a classroom, and I don't know what it was before, but, like, that was happening. I really wanted to use these desks, and then I didn't like how they looked together, because when I went to school, like, they had you jam-packed in there, like, these desks being all crammed together, and then also having another row in the middle, like, that's how it was. You could barely move. And again, I think it's because at this point, this was, like, a new thing, and they were repurposing old rooms, but I just remember, like, getting elbowed a lot, and then like people backing their chair up into you because like there just wasn't space. And this actually is giving these kids more space because, as you'll see, I end up taking out half of them. But like, yeah, you were crammed in there like sardines, and you played weird, allegedly educational games. Still have my doubts. I don't actually remember any of the games besides Oregon Trail, and there was another one with like, you had all these options, but there was one with eggs, and it was like a robot machine, and I feel like that's why I have anxiety. But otherwise, you know, computer lab was fun. It was a fun thing that you gotta do. A break in the monotony. It was definitely better than music class. But, that said, I am basing this little elementary school that I'm building, like this part of it. These are all meant to be like the specialty fun rooms where things happened. The deco building next door is like where the regular classes are and where the regular classrooms are. So we're not really going to see those here. I might end up actually building it later, but I wanted the fun one. You know, I want to do all the fun spaces. Nurse's office isn't really fun, but it's fun for storytelling. So we've got a computer lab. Probably some sort of PE setup. I have plans for a music room. The principal's office will also be here, which is gonna double as like, not necessarily like therapist. I can't remember what they really called it. Counselor's office? Maybe that's what they were calling it. There was a weird word in elementary school. But there was a person that you could talk to about your feelings. But, like, I don't know if that person had a degree. I don't know. I do know that I was sent to that person's office in 4th grade for something that is so silly and is so funny in retrospect, but, like, at the time was treated very seriously because I have always had, like, I don't know how to put it without it sounding weird, but just, like, I would put stuff in my mouth. I was a pen chewer. I loved gum. That was what I did. And my teacher would do reading hours that were really boring. You were not allowed to have any, you couldn't draw, you were supposed to be listening. But, like, I could not for the life of me. I've never been able to listen to, like, stories. Like, audiobooks don't work with me. Like, it's just not, I struggle to follow along. That's why I also struggled in a lot of language classes, because that's how they're taught. They just start talking in the other language and expect you to pick it up. was not me. Could not be me. Still isn't me. But as a result of this kind of draconian rule of you couldn't be doing anything but listening attentively, I got bored. Wasn't even allowed to have a pen to chew on. Like, did not enjoy this. So I started chewing on my arm. And, like, not, like, openly or, like, super visibly, but, like, it was something that I was doing almost unconsciously, because you were allowed to put your head down, which I feel like most people just took a nap. But, yeah. So I was chewing on my arm, and as a result, I had hickeys on my arm that looked like bruises. Because, of course, it's right where you would grab a snot-nosed little kid like me, which I absolutely was. I was a terror. I was awful. So, like, I could see why the assumption was made that I was awful at home and had gotten grabbed aggressively. So we go to the office and they're, like, dancing around a subject, and, you know, I was a pretty emotionally intelligent kid, but, like, when you don't anticipate, because it's so out of left field, like, I just didn't know what they wanted from me, and so then I was getting anxious because I didn't understand what they were dancing around. And then they finally, they didn't say it, and then they called my mom in, and then they asked her, and they, like, were much more aggressive, because she is an adult. And she's like, did you ask her how she got the bruises on her arm? I'm like, well, no. She's like, I have the most honest child in the world. Just go ask her. So they brought me back in the room. I'm like, what happened? And I was like, oh, I mean, I chew on my arm sometimes. And it was just so, like, this is like 4 or 5 days of them thinking I was being abused, but absolutely not saying that. And me just getting more and more and more and more confused why the adults were concerned about me, which, you know, they probably should have been concerned about me for a lot of other reasons, but that was not one of them. I will never forget that, of like, oh, I chew on my arm, and just the adults going, oh, you know, this is a 4th grader who does not understand. And of course, my mom was like, yeah, have you seen her pens? Have you seen any erasers? Anything. She just chews on them. And I did. I probably still would, but I was broken of the habit. Because I was then, of course, embarrassed and ashamed when I figured out what all happened and what I had done, and yeah, good times. I still need to name this elementary school. Oh, I'm kind of grabbing random things, because about halfway through when I realized, like, I couldn't just jam a bunch of computers in here. It wasn't going to work, and I kind of did want it to be somewhat functional. I decided, well, this is a small enough school. Suburban Hell is meant to be, like, in a new area where they've started a new suburb, basically. They've built this neighborhood, thrown up a school, and, like, there's just not a lot of people there yet. So these are going to be very small classes. Maybe it's a little bit Montessori style, which my understanding of those schools is you're allowed to just kind of pick what you want to do, but uncertain. I don't have kids. I did not go to one of those schools. But yeah, so there are items on the desks not accurate to my computer lab experience. There would be a computer chucked on every single inch of this desk. At least 3, maybe 4. Like I said, there was just not a lot of space. But I decided to make them a little bit more personalized, like they're assigned a computer and are working on a project. I wanted CDs, for sure, because that was the best part of computer lab, is playing games, and all the games were pre-installed, but you could get a game from the library, and you were allowed to, like, temporarily, I don't know how this worked, but you were allowed to install it. It was weird. It was weird. You could check out games from the library, too, and I was like, I don't understand. Like, the school library, not public library. Because public libraries, I get, but, like, if it's a game that requires you to have the CD, which all of them did, why? I digress. All I know is I wanted there to be CD-ROM games. I love that chunky clock. Like, I don't use the Animal Crossing stuff often because it just doesn't fit into my gameplay style, but it is very suited to, like, young children's items. Like, That I could see that in a preschool. I would see it and I'm like, yep, that checks out. It's a little big and it's a little too chunky, but like, I can justify it that way. I was really trying to find a printer because I swear that I had a Deco printer and I just could not find it. I actually cut out quite a bit of me looking for it because I went through twice, but like, couldn't find it. So there is no printer. That was the other thing that was nice about the computer lab, is you were allowed to print things, but there was like a limit. And then I got to college and they're like, oh, you want to print something? That's $1 a page. Like, I'm sorry, what? Ridiculous. My college experience was just... I know what the problem was. Like, I built it up so much in my head. I wanted to go so bad, but I had to work first, and I had to literally pay for it because I had no support. And then I got there, and I was 2 or 3 years older, and had a tough life experience already, like, so it was really important to me, and I was taking it very seriously, and I would be in class with somebody fully in sweatpants who has not brushed their hair and is sleeping loudly and openly in the class. So, like, it was really jarring, and then, like, just being around people who didn't really want to be there and were there because mommy and daddy said they had to be was hard. And then, like, I was a creative writing major in one of the top creative writing programs in the United States, and it wasn't the top, but it was top 5. And as a result, like, of my own ability, I was able to go in the higher level classes, the 300 level, rather than taking lower ones. I got to start with those. And it was just, at that point, those people, that was what they were doing. And even then, like, they didn't take it seriously. They wrote things that if somebody who was writing fan fiction wrote the premise of these stories, would not fly. And I did read a lot online, and I read a lot in general. So, like, really poorly executed stories that there's no way they took that much time. There's no way. And I had to, like, seriously critique this without being mean. And yeah, that was not, I didn't last very long because I just couldn't do it. That was not the environment for me. I remember, I was like, I've read so much fan fiction that is millions of times better. Like, not even a little bit of a joke. It was so much better. And more original and just more creative. I was like, what are we doing here? Why are you here? Why are you people here? You don't want to be here. Get out. But that's just kind of the state of education in this country. I don't know. People say it's better now, but I still have my doubts. And that's, like, with paying for it. I'm like, imagine if it was free, which I think it should be. Like, imagine... I mean, I would be a forever student, for sure. I'd be like, no, I just want to learn stuff. Sorry. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm so tired. I've been painting all day, and I cleaned my grout, and I have a blister on the end of my finger, and so that's really all I can think about. So I'm blabbering about education, but, like, we're building a cutesy computer lab, and it's very cute. At the end of the day, that's all we need to know. I'm trying to reach these OMSPs. So yeah, I'm curious how many of you went to a school that had a computer lab. Like, I feel like it's not a thing that exists anymore, which is wild. I mean, we went from them not existing when I started to them not existing now because they're obsolete. So yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really does help, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.